What other books do we need with the Bible? Let's start with the Bible.
The KJV 1611 was created in the year 1611. It has 80 books in it. The KJV versions that we see today only have 66 books in it. And so does all the translations that come after that, like the NIV, the NKJV, the NSRV, so on and so forth. These 14 books that are between the Old Testament and the New Testament is called the Apocrypha. They're actually missing from the scriptures, so we need an Apocrypha to go with our KJV. It has additional books from other prophets, and it also fills in the time gap between the Old and the New Testament. Very important space fillers, very important prophecies, and very important stories. Another book we need is the Strong's Bible Concordance. We know that the Old Testament was translated from the Hebrew language, and we know that the New Testament was translated from the Greek language. The Strong's Bible Concordance gives us the biblical definition of every word in the Bible. Every word in the Old Testament has a number code attached to it, and it begins with an H for Hebrew. For the New Testament, every word has a number code for definition that begins with a G. That stands for Greek. For example, this is an app called the Blue Letter Bible. This is my go-to for a Strong's Bible Concordance app, and this is how it looks in the App Store. Free to download. So if we open it up, go to Exodus 3:1, and we want to get the Hebrew definition of Moses. We click on that Bible verse, and this screen click on Interlinear Concordance. At this screen, it has every word in that verse. Right here for Moses, we see H4872. If you tap right there, the page for that definition pops up, like right here. We see the pronunciation, Moshe, and then if you scroll down, you get the definition of that word. Moses equals drawn. Now, if we want to get the definition of Moses in Greek, then let's pull up Matthew 8:4. Click on that verse, and it takes you here. Hit Interlinear Concordance, and it brings you here. This is that verse in the Greek language because the New Testament was translated from the Greek language. So we scroll down till we see the word Moses. We see here the Greek definition is G3475. Hit that line, and it brings us to here, the page for the Greek definition. We see that the way to pronounce Moses in the Greek is Moses. Scroll down to here, and we see the definition of Moses is drawing out. Biblical definitions are very important, and the definition of words may differ from the Strong's Bible Concordance to the English dictionary. So using the Strong's gives us a more accurate understanding of the scriptures. Now, so far we got the KJV. If you don't have the 1611, then you need an Apocrypha, so you can have all 80 of the books that belong in the Bible. And again, we don't use no other translations because the KJV was translated straight from Hebrew and straight from Greek. All the other translations were translated from the KJV, and they use other words and even omit verses, which is very misleading and hinders us from correctly and completely understanding our scriptures. And then we need our Strong's Bible Concordance so that we can correctly define and understand the words in the Bible. Stay tuned, and we're going to go into 3 other books that we need: the book of Joshua, the book of Jubilees, and the book of Enoch. All 3 of these books existed before the New Testament, and they were either quoted or referenced in the Bible. We're going to get into some of those quotes and references because if they mentioned in the scriptures, we need those books too. Stay tuned for part 2, fam. Peace.